Good morning, YouTube. Chris from Tillman Family Farms. Welcome back to the channel. I think I finally got this camera thing figured out. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to get into today, but I got up this morning and I shaved my beard off, and I've got a bunch of things that I can do. So here we go. Y'all hang tight. Got a few chickens grazing out this morning. I am not 100% sure where the rest of them are. We do not have these guys an electric fence just yet. That's a spring project that's coming up when we get the mobile chicken coop built. But there's some of them out here. Looks like about 20 of them or so. She may not let the rest of them out, but we're going to check on the pigs and we're going to check on these guys. And I think that I have decided that we are going to lay out our farrowing pen and start on our farrowing hut. Alright guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I hope you can tell. That gate right there is pretty crooked. When I put this pin up for the goats, when I pulled that last section of fence right there, I pulled it a little too tight, and it kind of pulled my post a little bit. When I hung my gate, it was all jacked up, so I think I'm going to fix that today. And I'm also going to use this gate to run Miss Piggy into a separate paddock from everybody else, so that I want y'all to look at this. This is pathetic. But to run her into here and go ahead and build a farrowing hut and get it put in here. This is a pretty good area. These trees have been putting off all kinds of acorns and hickory nuts and some other stuff that she'll be able to get into in here. Not quite sure how big I'm going to build it. I want to be able to contain the piglets too, because we are close to the road right here in this area. So I'm going to go get a tripod so I can set this camera up and we'll get started. Alright guys, so my area here is a little odd shape for these long panels. I got a little hill, like a little berm coming up out of it as we come out of this gate. So this is going to be kind of funky shaped. It will be definitely temporary for Miss Piggy when she farrows. I'm kind of using the fence so that we can contain the piglets as they move around. But I'm going to get started unloading this stuff off the tractor and starting to kind of get my angles and all that stuff set up and move a few things around so that when we build this farrowing hut we can actually get it inside. So this is about 15 minutes later and we got a couple T-posts driven in. Jamie has started down there tying everything together, and here in a few minutes we're going to go start building on our farrowing hut. And I have left this last end one off so that we can get the hut in here. And what I'll do when I get the electric wire in here, I'll just piggyback off what's there, bring it around through, attached at the bottom, and like I say, our gate's in there. Before the day's out, I promise I'm going to straighten that gate up a little bit. But that's where we are at this second. Alright guys, I'm back up here by the house. I got this is where I keep all my tools and stuff for this detached garage. I got some lumber that was left over from when we built our goat barn that is now a pig barn kind of. Anyway, all this stuff is already cut to the same lengths, so I'm going to use this as a base. Got a nail gun out, got a saw out, and we're about to start kind of working on it and getting it put together. I'm sure that there's plans for these things out there somewhere. I know that Farm Builder, if you go to their YouTube page, they do a lot of stuff like this for pigs, and I think they've got several different ones. But I saw these on Sheraton Park Farms and they look like they worked well for him, so we are going to try them out and we're about to get started. Alright guys, so I've got this laid out and put together down here. I'm looking at it on that screen right there and it does not look very big, but trust me, it is much bigger than it looks. It is about 5 foot by probably close to 4 feet. I think it's plenty big enough for her to get in there. Like I say, there's probably plans or actual better dimensions for these things out there somewhere, but this is what I'm going to do, and I may live and learn, and it may not be big enough, but I'm going to put it together. I got plenty of time to build a bigger one if it appears that it's not going to be big enough. But I got the nail gun out, so I'm fixing to shoot this frame together real quick. Alright, so what I've done now is I have actually cut some pieces for the front here. So I cut these at 32 inches. I don't really have a rhyme or reason to these measurements. I kind of went by the height of the pig according to my leg. Gave her some headroom so that she can get in and out. But I got one on this side, one on the other side, and then I'll cut a piece to go between here. So I'm fixing to get this stuff nailed up, and then I'll drop back and I'll show you what I got going on so far, okay? Alright guys, so I got a little ahead of myself. Anyhow, so the front there is 32 inches. I cut the ones in the back at 24. I just put ourselves a support across the front and the back, and then across the sides there. I've got some tin out there that I'm fixing to run get. It's kind of raggedy, rusty. It's all salvage type tin. But I'm going to go get it and start wrapping this thing up, the back, the top. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to use some tin on the side. I thought I had some scrap plywood, but it turns out that I did not. So I'm going to go grab that stuff real quick and get started on getting a tin on it. Alright guys, so I started to put my tin on and I almost forgot about one of the most important parts. So I cut me some boards right there, made a space for piglets to hide for mama. They got a pretty fair amount of room back there, but almost forgot it. But there it is. I caught it right before it was too late. Couldn't get my fat butt in there to do it. Alright guys, so gotten to a stopping point for today. Got my tin on it. I have decided that I do want to find some plywood for the ends. So I thought I had some somewhere and I don't. So I'm going to hold off on that part, but as you can see, maybe the tractor bucket is a little bit better gauge as to what size this thing is. But I got it on a pallet with forks and I'm fixing to take it out there, and we'll be able to be finished up with this project for right now. Alright, you guys say action.
It's been action.
Oh. Alright, so here we are. We got the Farrowing hut out here where it's at. And just like everybody else that build these, I'm going to give you a perception of how big it is. So I'm pretty close to 6 foot and I'm about 250 pounds. Not too terribly far off from the size of a pig. So here we go. Hey, get out of my shot. Get out of my shot. Get out of my shot. Anyhow, there it is. Like I say, we're going to work on sides later on. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you hadn't. And we'll be back with some more videos. Probably this week I'm going to do a video on probably the most useful tools around our farm that we probably couldn't do without. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.